Well, welcome back to Monster Train. I am, as always, your host, a duck with a second wing. How you doing? How's it going? Is this run is coming to you live from 3:50 a.m. You may remember previous run started around 2:15. Yeah, I know. It's the same night. I was going to go to bed, but I'm just gonna knock this one out. If it's looking grim, we'll see. But I think that I could make it. I feel good enough. I think that as long as I don't do anything rash this run, we should just pick Shattered Shell. We'll scale Shattered Shell. We'll have a great time, you know? I'm sure it's gonna be great. No more. No more Keeper of Echoes. Yeah, don't even show me Wormkin. I'm done. Keeper of Echoes, he's dead to me. I cannot tell you about. I cannot respond to what you said in yesterday's episode because I have not read the comments yet because the comments have not been posted yet. It's weird how time works. However, I'll probably shorten up the intro a little bit. I didn't think of a second question for you. Give me one moment, and I will. Give me like. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. You won't notice though. Alright, I do have a good question for you, I feel. So recently, and by recently I mean like maybe a week ago, I think it was Sunday, I watched with my friends I don't even know what it was. It was like a soccer tournament. It was the England versus Italy game, because one of my friends was watching. He was like, hey, I'm into soccer. I'm going to watch this game. And he streamed the game to us. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And I don't know. It was like soccer's a really strange sport to me. I never stopped to learn the rules, and now that I know the rules, it's an even stranger sport. But I know that some of you are from it's not a big sport here in America. I'm also not into sports in particular anyway. I know some of you are from probably more soccer dominated areas. How do you feel about soccer? Or football, if you call it football. It's called soccer here, but you may call it football. Either one. How do you feel about it? What are your thoughts? I think it's a cool sport, but I also felt like I watched 90 minutes of waiting for something to happen. Like my friend was like, "Oh wow, this is a really well played game from both sides. Like Italy's doing so much," and I was sitting there. I was like, "It's been 83 minutes since someone scored a goal. Nothing feels like is happening because there's like running around with the ball, right? It feels like there was not much to look at, but." I'm an idiot. I don't know what's going on. And then they got to the end, and like the shootout was pretty cool, and like the overtime was pretty exciting too. But I feel like they could have cut like 45 minutes out of that game, and it would have been exactly the same. But let me know how you feel about soccer. Maybe we'll go through a sports week, and you can tell me about your favorite sports. Anyway, for now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to it, shall we? We're Awoken, Exile, Hellhorned. It's Soul Sucker Talos at the process. That's the sap one. Sap and Daze. That's haste. Failure Arcus, Diligent Sarah, Vine Grasp, Fortify, and Snare. Really good starting cards. Very low impact. Very good though. Like, Ensnare is excellent, and Vine Grasp does a lot. Fortify does something. I prefer to start with all zeros as opposed to like all threes here, I feel like. Click Railhammer. Card's usually good. Or Relic's usually good, I should say. Happy to play spikes here as well. We can play spikes, then we can just play whatever good line they show me from Hellhorned. Pick up Steelworker, pick up any other unit, and probably just snowball. I think I actually have enough here to take Invasion Trial. Let's do it. Because we have spikes, we have Railhammered Armor, and we have Restores. I think we can do it. Usually, it's a little suspicious of me to... I've been saying suspicious like that lately. I don't want to talk about it. Just move on. I think it's a little, because regen and healing clash with armor is what I'm trying to get to here, and it's not incorrect. However, I do let the collector escape by doing that. That's a bit of a mistake. I should have taken the extra damage on the sentient for sure. Letting the collector escape there is very silly. Didn't think that one through entirely. Let's see. So we should put a Queen Zipling down. If I tank the hit, it's bad. right? So I have to play the Queen's Opening and let it stick. It's fine. We save 2 for it. No, we don't. What am I doing? Like, I'm coming off of that last run, and that last run was, if you did not watch it, it was a lot. It was a lot, and so I gotta... Like, just allow me to make some... Like, the mistakes don't make a big difference. I'm just making them. But it doesn't change much. I'm just not doing things optimally. I think I could have taken 2 less damage if I played this a little bit better. But, you know, you'll bear with me. Or not, you don't have to. Finish the thought I was going to say. Armor and regen usually clash, but we can pick Spike Sentient, put Spike Sentient off to the side, and then play a different strategy that makes use of the armor. That's the game plan here. Restoration Detonation is healing. Engraft is always good, and it helps me... Because so I shouldn't hard commit to armor. I can let Railhammer be a bad pickup, and I can just take, like, Engraft and then plan for Awoken Hollow if they show him. I think I will take Engraft. I don't think I should pass... I would never pass here because these cards are all good. Restoration Detonation is probably the least interesting to me, though. I'm gonna grab Engraft. Could play Hidden Passage. Probably good. For what? I don't know. I'm not going to take a 3rd Fortify. I think I actually skipped this. I don't need Vent because I have Spike Sentient. I'm going to press skip. I think it's fine. Okay, so we're not going to the Hellhorned banner. I'm going to go to the Awoken banner here. What do you got for me today? Multi-strike? I dare you to show me Shattered Shell. Alright, video game. Oh, what was it? There was something that someone has been telling me to play in Monster Train on stream. And I think it's Thorned Hollow infused with a Slay effect. I'm gonna click on Shattered Shell. I don't know about that one. Shattered Shell, he clashes, right? He clashes with Spike Sentient. But I think it's fine. We can pick up Quick Form. There's a multi-strike here, so I'm just gonna grab it. Maybe I could have played the Thorned Hollow and thrown multi-strike at it and been fine. But I don't know. Here I go playing Shattered Shell again. We'll see. We'll play this one out by ear. I think for now the game plan is armor up the Shattered Shell, and then depending on what we see, we'll make some more choices down the line. Yeah. It's like, it's very strange because we have Spike Sentient. If I had Rejuvenating Sentient here, we would be chillin'. Really good unit draft because now these enemies will, really good trial because these enemies survive. Again, I'm invested in Railhammer, I'm invested in Shattered Shell, but I can always pivot out. I don't have to stay. That's the important thing about this run right now that you have to realize. Just because I'm committed doesn't mean that I have to stay committed. I can always pivot. If the game so desires. It's like a non-turn, but it doesn't really matter. We are in a good spot leading this combat. This combat with +10 armor was a perfect trial. I can also just keep the Sentient at 10 and leave her as the frontliner if we pick up Cultivating. I don't know about that one, though. Perfect, yeah. Didn't even have to do any more. Great combat. Very good. Wildwood Sap I'm not a big fan of. Edge Prior, maybe. Like, Edge Prior and then I hedge my bets against, what's his name? Vapor. Why can't I think of his name? Am I out of my mind? Give me stuff. I'm not taking it. Welder Helper is good. I will pick it after yesterday's run. Awoken Hollow. Yep. No, this isn't the unit I was thinking of, but he's good. It's not Sapwood. What's... I gotta look now. I can't think of his name. I can't think of the new rare Awoken unit's name. Why not? Units? Steel Singer. I just kept saying Sapwood in my head. I don't know why. Very strange. So what I could do here is I could do an Awoken Hollow infused Shattered Shell, and then he becomes his entire own floor. And then I could put like I could put a Steelworker or something. Steelworker would take Cultivates though, which doesn't sound that good. I think it's fine to just play the Awoken Hollow even. And we can go, I'm pretty confident I go left here. What you got for me, Awoken Banner? Another Awoken Hollow? Yeah, we could take space and do a self-infuse for sure. That seems fine. One day, Thorned Hollow. I'll play you. One day. And yeah, we're just gonna we're gonna pivot out of Spike Sentient. We're gonna pivot out of, basically just pivot the entire run here. I will duplicate the Engraft. It's fine. And then I don't want either of these. Rail Spikes, Spike Driver Colony, probably not. If I were to place a bet on what the last card I will goal or stamp through normal play is, it's probably gonna be Spike Driver Colony. I take this, like, maybe in 3,000 hours of gameplay, I will stamp Spike Driver Colony. I never pick this card. I just don't like it. I think it comes with Endless, though, as an infusion, so maybe a little better for that. I don't want any of this, though. I think this run has multiple very clear lines to victory here, and a majority of them involve me tossing the Sentient away. Most important thing I don't want to do here is I don't want to self-infuse yet, if I can avoid it. I could just do it, and then, like, how afraid am I of Talos? Not that afraid, but I'm not going to disrespect her like that. Go to 25 to make it so I can't play this unit with my Shattered Shell seems pretty bad. Let's just leave. I want to pick up Cultivating Sentient now, and then, no, I probably just toss her. I think I just don't play her after this combat. Maybe just don't play her, period. Real weird, right? But, like, what's she doing? She's stealing kills from Shattered Shell at this point. It is the classic Spikes conundrum. I am a player who always I always get Shattered Shell. It's just how it is. I don't know what I can do, but playing. Awoken Hollow number 2, he can go chill down here. Or I could give armor. I think I give armor here just to be a little safer. Because we're about to get a stack up. Yeah. Just had to, like, triple check that that wasn't going to be something really bad, and it's not. So the ideal pickup from this combat is, in my mind, going to be probably Animus of Speed. Yeah, probably Animus of Speed, and also Unleash the Wildwood would be great. Unleash the Wildwood, Animus of Speed, things like that. And then this is a run that has a very clearly defined plan, and I just remove to make the plan better, and we win. After yesterday's run, I am glad for the video game to give me a real relaxing one here. Just a nice good old-fashioned kick your feet up, throw away your champion, and play a good line. I think, yeah, killing the Protector is worse. We want the Shattered Shell scaling. It doesn't matter. We got through our rocky early game. You could replace this unit with Animus of Will and then play your champion, but I will not be doing that here today. Rail Spike? Probably not, but, like, I don't know. I don't have extra energy in this run ever, right? I don't think so. I can pass all of this. Not playing Rage, not playing Channel Song, not with Imps. I'm just gonna press skip. Animus of Speed. Beautiful. She's gonna sit with us a little bit. Like, we're gonna go... Actually, I'm gonna sit on her for a while, but I think it's fine. We're gonna take space as well. I don't actually get to enact the Animus of Speed for a little bit here, right? Because we go, it's Horde here, Temple. We're at 50, we're at 75 pretty easily, so I have to take 15 from one of the temples and then we're good. Go left. I'm disrespecting the game a little bit by, like, I'm gonna have a bunch of units here that I can't do anything with, but I don't think it matters. Wingsteel is good. I'm one less draw than I would like to be because I had to take space for this self-infused Awoken Hollow, but I take Wingsteel or a Guild Marker. I don't think I actually need to spend that much at the shop, so I can take Wingsteel. Vapor Funnel I don't need because enemy backliners aren't gonna walk up and frontliners should be dead. Another multi-strike. It's a little like, this is scary. I almost said it's a little suspicious. Please help me. I have have created a monster. I think it's fine though, because we have the double infused Awoken Hollow. Every heal is going to give 4 health, so Shattered Shell should be fine with double multi-strike, I think. And we get quick on him, so. From this position, we have to live 1 combat. That will be a little scary because we have a bunch of cards that we're not wanting to play. Cultivating? Nice. It's a little weird, but it's better because there's going to be some combats, especially on the Divinity. I can play it and get like 2 extra draw, which is nice. Alright, let's hit it. By the Divinity, I think that we're going to be out of control. Yeah, this is a combat that I can play the Sentient on, and it's actually really good. Heaven's Seal for an artifact, though. Can I scale enough? No, I should play careful. I should play careful. We should play safe here. We don't wanna anger the party boys. They won't thrash me, but they are a bit of a threat. So we want to play it cool here. Give a little armor. Why not? These guys, they won't thrash me, but if I disrespect, I could get myself killed here. Late Shattered Shell draw could have killed me as well. Not killed me, but I would have taken a lot. A shame about the Collector, but what can you do? Sentient adds a lot, and it looks like, because we're only on 15 pack shards, it only had enough to infuse. I don't know exactly how the infusions work, but it feels like it seems to me like it's a, based on how many pack shards you have, it spends pack shards, if that makes sense. If I pull you to the front, I get an extra kill on Shattered Shell. Like, so I guess with 15 pack shards, it's able to spend this many pack shards to infuse an enemy. Like at a certain number of pack shards, the cost of infusion. Or a certain number of pack shards is the cost of infusion. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my wording there. Hey, please stop dying. He's struggling a little bit here. Like basically on 15, you notice only 1 priest got to be the infused enemy here. And on a little bit higher, it's 1 of the light harnessers, and then on higher than that, it maybe gets enough to make 2 or 1 in the priest. Like, I think that it basically budgets it out and then spends it randomly on different waves to make them stronger. Is how the enemies are determined. Who is infused? Is it infused? I feel like I call 90% of things in this game infused, which is why infused doesn't seem right, but I'm gonna say infused, and you're just gonna have to understand what I mean when I say infused there. This run is looking a lot. I mean, I think in yesterday's run at this time, I was like maybe on Daedalus, so feeling a little bit better here. This is a comfort run. Very, very nice. You like to have one of these every now and then. Good old fashioned. We go through phases, and I am currently in my I'm the guy who plays Shattered Shell phase. It's fine. Shattered Shell's a good card. I don't need to add anything else to this deck, I don't think. Shattered Shell handles everything. Not even Inferno. Inferno hurts me, I think, a little bit even. We are going to do the self-infuse first. I think the self-infuse is a little more value than the quick, although the quick is pretty good. Maybe I do the quick first. Move you a little closer here. I think I do the quick first, actually. I'm gonna go left. We'll go for money here. The artifact's cool, but there's not really anything I would want. Move consume, +20 consume, and -1. And we go. I'm gonna do the quick first. I have changed my mind. I think the quick first is a little bit better. We're at 40. And so we're at 40 here, 50, 75 after Arcus, 85 after the boons. So I'm going to need to take 15 from either this temple or the next. I'd rather take it from the next, because at the next temple we're going to be a lot stronger. But Extreme Stone is a better pickup than what they'll show me, most likely. Making graft free. Nothing to remove consume. +20 consume I'm not too interested in right now. Let's reroll. Hold over and graft. Sure. That's fine. Pay 60 for a removal here. Could probably buy another cost down if I really wanted. Ooh, build a card. Armor, frostbite, or spikes? I mean, I guess armor. Heal? Yeah. I wasn't gonna pick this until they show. Like, if I had gotten nothing but the armor here, I would have passed this for sure. And we skipped this one. But armor 14, heal 20. This card's pretty good. Any card that heals gets added to this deck, and otherwise we are sitting. I may as well make another engraft free. Fine. Probably go here. There's 2 trinket shops back to back, huh? Alright. For a second I thought, like, I had a little jump. Felt like I forgot something there. Do not take spikes on this one. And also don't play the sentient on this one. We have quick, and this is a sycophant combat. Shattered Shell just goes absolutely mad here. Crushes this combat. Sycophants do, but this Sycophants of Sarav against Shattered Shell is not a fair fight. It makes Shattered Shell runs look so much stronger than they usually are. A great holdover. This also feels like the longest I've sat on units waiting to infuse them. Usually I get them done and infused pretty quickly, but I've been waiting for a while here. It feels like. Go get them, Train Steward. At 25 times 3. Usually I would have, in the past here I've had, instead of, I guess rather what I want to say in this state is, I want to talk about Shattered Shell, because I feel like I have gotten to be very good at Shattered Shell runs lately. And so, what I want to talk about with Shattered Shell here is why I felt very comfortable going for the quick infusion. And I mean, pretty straightforward, right? Maybe not. I probably shouldn't assume, I should say. The reason that it's really good here is we have Awoken Hollow, right? In the past few runs I've played, I've done the self-infused Shattered Shell line, and that's really good because it doubles his built-in scaling. Getting 6 per kill adds up very quickly. However, I don't think it's always the best option, and like in this case, we don't need to do the self-infuse because A, we hit double multi-strike, and B, we have a cultivate option which we're going to let cultivate out of control. The self-infused Shattered Shell option, I said I was going to click any healing card, but I lied to you. Second Ensnare is good though for mini bosses. This is a mini boss answerer. And we skip these. No Hellhorned card I think you can offer me is going to get added to this deck. Oh, this isn't the temple? Man. Gotta go through Arcus like this. Gross. Clear out the Queen's Implings now. But basically, Awoken Hollow is going to give 2-2 and then down the line 4-4. 2-2 and 4-4 healing added to Shattered Shell is going to give enough health that he's going to survive anything, and also enough damage scaling that he's going to survive and outscale, or reach the point where he, like, it's going to make up for the loss of the scaling, so we can get double multi-strike and then quick and not be afraid. This unit without a cultivating, without specifically Awoken Hollow and all of these restores, I think loses, but with Awoken Hollow and all of these restores, I think it crushes. Pretty heavily, too. I'm down for another engraft. Once you draw it, it just replaces itself, right? So every time I duplicate this card, I'm just adding another cultivate trigger. Because once you play it once, it adds 1 energy and draws itself back next turn. So this card is really bonkers. Too bad we can't see it ×5. I already said no to Awoken's Rail Spike today, right? I mean, I do have energy to spend now with these. You know what? I'll take it now. I have 2 holdover engrafts. I'll take Awoken's Rail Spike. It just gives me something to dump excess energy into, which I'm definitely going to have some of. Arcus is the last actual question mark in my mind. I'm fairly certain that we crush him and then snowball out of control in this run, but I don't know. You know, infused frontliner, maybe a bad turn 1, maybe we get a little got. I'd be pretty surprised, but maybe, you never know. This Arcus, Failure Arcus, does not have stealth. Interesting. So ensnaring this Quill Marksman is good. I don't want to increase the cost of ensnare through the incant. And this Quill Marksman is non-existent. With a quick Shattered Shell, this Quill Marksman does not make an impact on this run. So you ensnare that unit there. And it's absolutely free. gonna spend anything on Rail Spike here. Let me check. 180 is a big number. I would love to draw an ensnare. Did not draw an ensnare. I'm gonna take a bit of damage. I guess I hurt myself a little bit because the Quill Marksman would have added 3. I would have taken a little less here, but what can you do? You can throw some Queen Zimplings at him, I guess. Pretend like it's gonna help. It's tough. First round infusion enemies are gonna be a bit of a pain point for this run for sure. I guess should stay. We're not out of the woods yet. Every engraft is positive right now, as long as I play old magic, because it's +9. No, it's plus 6, right? Maybe not positive then. But I can root this enemy if it doesn't die, so it's actually fine either way. And we want to get the cultivates going. It's actually a little better to let it live, because then Shattered Shell kills it next turn. Should probably stop though. Yeah, the thing we're gonna have to watch out for is turn 1 infused heavies, and we only really have to worry about it right now, I feel like. Just end turn. I may as well sting. And ensnare, there's no reason not to. Once we get to the 150, like that was just unlucky basically. Failure Arcus into turn 1 infusion on an enemy is a little bit rough. Go Rail Spike. Great draw. Good work. That's been it's been 2 backline infuse also, but like, yeah, just avoid the turn 1 infused heavies. We're gonna want to dodge multi-strike combat on the next combat. That's the big one here that we gotta be on the hope against. Honestly, just gonna play Restore and then Old Magic here and press end turn. I don't care about these cards having their cost increase. We're past this combat. Why is this 0 cost, like with a highlighted number? That seems kind of odd. Wonder what caused that. Oh, because it drew from, right, the number's color changes even if the cost doesn't change. That's right. That's how it works. Should be playing these fortifies. I'm being lazy. Maybe it's not free. Ah, it's free. I like, as he walked up, I looked at it and I went, oh, only 300? Wait a minute. Am I dead? Nah, we're good. We got Welder Helper too. Very not dead. Although again, I play Welder Helper and then I steal Cultivates from myself. It's like, I did it twice now, and it's, you know, it's fine. Again, Last Stand. Again, no. Adaptive Mutation? Definitely not. It's like super bad. Because what you do is if you play this, you're just swapping the health and then you're wasting your Cultivates. And then Shard Channeler. Maybe if I was playing Spike Sentient, actually. I have enough next turn draw, I feel like, but I also don't really need energy for anything. So I guess I do take draw, but like, doesn't add much. Could take another space, but for what? Imps? I'm just gonna confuse myself. I'm gonna go left here for Pyre health and removals, primarily. I remember I need to take a 15 here. We do Awoken Hollow infused into Awoken Hollow. And we get Extreme Stone. Extreme Stone's cool. Put that on Restore. And put it on the free engraft. Doesn't make a big difference. And we go to 100 even here. We're probably just going to go Removals Pyre health, because I really just want to top up my Pyre health on this run. Queen Zimplings are just completely worthless. Throw health at Awoken Hollow. Makes them a little more survivable. I may as well, but the spikes, our boy's quick. The spikes don't matter. I'm going to a Merchant of Steel. I can hold out for something better. Yeah, sure. Fine. Could throw multi-strike at him, actually, just to make him a little bit better at killing first heavies, but I don't know if I need to. I think I'd rather just buy a removal. You know what? Let's do it. I think this multi-strike might actually make a difference, and it feels weird to skip it, so let's just grab it. I don't think plus 25 health matters. I think that this unit is very strong. Could have skipped this. I guess we take the higher health, though. Yeah, he's at like 105. He should be fine. Our healing output is a little concerning in this run. Not like number of heals, but actual healing amount. Scary fight, but Spell Shield doesn't change anything, right? It stops me from playing Vine Grasp for damage and Sting for damage, so Spell Shield changes nothing. This is a really bad fight, but we'll see. Sentient just gets in the way, just makes everything worse. Because we lose a bunch of energy. I was thinking about playing it for the draw. We lose too much energy for it, though. We do have plenty of energy with these engrafts, thankfully, but still. Top card is Restore. Fine. Actually, as I'm looking at this run now, I don't know if it's as free as I once thought. With these infused enemies, I'm a little worried. We drew Ensnare, though. Like, Ensnare is our problem fixer here, and the more Ensnares I can draw, the better off we are, basically, here. Thankfully, the Ember Drain makes effectively no difference. I've been lazy about playing out these Welder Helpers and things like that as well. I should get in the habit. Don't really think I need to Vine Grasp anything here. We're good. I think that is long. If I thin the deck out enough, I can just ensnare all my problems away. Could also hold over ensnare, but either way. 62 times 3, he's made it to the point where he kills the Gilded Wings. Okay, I mean, turn 2, or not turn 2, but like turn 4. Second turn that heavies are on the floor, we are killing them with Shattered Shell, so I'm feeling pretty good about this one now. Now that it looks like this. Maybe I should have picked Cycle of Life. You know what Cycle of Life would do here? It would let me add max HP so I can get more Cultivate value, because I'm going to lose Cultivate value on the Shattered Shell. I can regain Cultivate value by not playing armors on Shattered Shell in the future. That will be not important, but worth remembering. I regain Cultivates by... I should play Engraft first. Regain Cultivates by not having to split them at this point, because now we get half value instead of full value. Before we're getting 4/4, now we get 2/2 on both. If Shattered Shell takes damage and I never heal the damage back, then he always gets the max HP increase. And I need to do that by adding armor to Shattered Shell. Okay. I think I'm in a position where I can press end turn. But like, this is a boss where I don't really want to disrespect, so I'm going to go through the motions here just in case. I never know with Trample Boss in a run like this, but I think this is enough. Adders. One of the things that I could be better about is I could be better about my mental math. I always round down, and I look at the first digit only. So in my mind, Shattered Shell was doing 300 damage. Shattered Shell was actually doing nearly 600 damage. It's more like, 3, and then it's like 525 Shattered Shell was doing, but it's a big difference. I could take another Engraft here. I actually don't think I want it. I'm gonna skip it. I don't think that the 4th Engraft makes a big difference. Dazing enemies, moving enemies around isn't bad, but I'm just gonna chill. I think this run wins, basically. I'm not gonna add much more, because I think this run wins. I've not disrespected Diligent. I should have taken another Engraft, actually, for Diligent Seraph. I have not removed much in terms of spells. It's been all units, so I haven't been too disrespectful. Would love to see the add a Vine Grasp every turn, just to make my life a lot more simple. We're gonna cut the last Queen's Impling. I'm gonna cut the Welder Helper, and then probably just gonna sit on a bunch of money, because I don't think I can remove any more spells in good faith. And these are all spells, so yeah, we're gonna just sit. If I see the Vine Grasp Relic, though, we're taking it. +3 magic power adds a lot to my healing power, actually. Sure. Lost Luggage is cool. Sure. And then Precious Blade. Sure. The idea with Lost Luggage is sometimes I'll draw both of my units turn 1 now, which is really good. Do I ever play bottom floor in this one? I might play bottom floor depending on how it looks. 100 of 100? Let's kick it. I probably should have respected Diligent Seraph a little more than I did here, but I think we could play bottom floor, actually. Yeah, I feel good about this. So we drop our Shattered Shell down. We drop our Awoken Hollow down. And then he dies. That's 53, 63. It's fine. We're going to consume Fortify. Worst card in the deck by a lot. Oh, not really. But like worst card in the deck is probably Vine Grasp at this point. Frutia. Fortify again. Restore. Big play here. We put Sentient on the top 4 to catch anything that Seraph puts down mid or top. And also it's +1 draw. Any units spawned by Seraph will now die to the Sentient, which is nice. On the consume front, we consume Vine Grasp. Pretty easy. Go ahead and play my Engraph. Once again, I am here to tell you that Ensnare is a bonkers card, and you should probably click on it more if you don't click on it very often. Ensnare is very good. It's especially good in any run with Sweep as your main plan. You just get to cancel, you get to stop an enemy and they're forced to take another round of Sweep, which is really good. Yeah, by the time that Seraph runs me out of spells, I'm actually just going to be done. If I didn't play bottom floor, I think we could have been in trouble, but I did. No reason not to just Sting yet. I don't need to keep the Sentient alive, but why not? He's earned it. She got me through like 2 combats. We take those. How sad is it that the Sentient is just... I talked about this in the tier list video. Like, some runs, especially now, post DLC, there are just some runs where you do not play your champion. Awoken Hollow is my champion on this run, and he's a lot better than the Sentient. If I had Cultivate 3 Sentient as a world where I would consider... I can toss the Ensnares away now because the enemies no longer need to be held. But there's a world where if I had Cultivate Sentient, I would be using her here, but I actually think she is not as good as Awoken Hollow would be here. Or is here. Because Awoken Hollow, I can scale off of the Cultivates entirely. So we get to just get to this point a lot quicker. You're limited on the Sentient by how many enemies there are. On the Divinity, there's a lot of enemies. On some other combats, like Combat 7 we just fought last combat, not as many enemies. And it's a little more of a concern, I would say. I haven't seen Chase Seraph in a while. That's probably wrong, but I feel like it's been a while. This round just has, I've just cultivated the Awoken Hollow 30 health. No, 40, right? Because he's a 30 baseline. Well, not a 30, but he's 30 attack. And at the end of this, I cultivated him 56 attack, which means I cultivated this man 28 times without much attempt, right? Like, when you build your deck like this with a sweep unit, I think that Sentient is probably a little bit better if you're playing like Animus, but with a sweep unit, I just feel like you can play... no, I think Awoken Hollow is just better. I don't know. That's the problem I have with Cultivate Sentient. I think she is just worse than Awoken Hollow. It's tough. But we'll see if this actually makes it. The top floor Divinity layout is going to be exciting. No damage shield. Great news. You'll love to see it. Lost Luggage has done what I asked of it. It gave me the top floor turn 1 double play my unit strat. It's really good because my units now just get to start scaling turn 1. This Lost Luggage is big for that, right? We get to get our units scaling on turn 1 instead of having to wait until turn 2 or even turn 3, as we were before. So by the time these guys make it up here, our Shattered Shell should kill them. And this is the Cultivate strat, if you remember I was talking about. We just don't heal or put anything into the Shattered Shell, and then he's gonna always be the one getting cultivated because he's gonna be losing health every turn. Not so much that I want to Vine Grasp him, but still. Thought about it. Can you believe... I can't believe that there was a time, not so long ago, that I did not like the new Awoken Hollow. I didn't like Cultivate. How wrong I was. Cultivate is bonkers. It's really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna split the spikes enemy here. It's good to do. I usually don't do it because in my mind I'm like, oh, we'll have to deal with the spikes eventually, but 5 enemies with spikes is a lot less than 3, or is 2 more than 3 with spikes, right? Next floor is the boss. And so 3 less than 5. Hot math for you. Doesn't matter a lot in this run, I don't think, but still gonna do the hot math for you. 200, we're doing 300. I don't even have to stop, don't think. I'm gonna beat the Divinity without playing my champ, which is kind of sad, but I don't know. I'd like it if they just buffed all the champions. Not every champion has to be on the level of Little Fade, but I wouldn't hate it if they were all as strong as Little Fade is, because it's nice to feel the champions are the unique thing about this game, and it'd be nice if there were not like, I wish that runs like this were more uncommon in the DLC, where you just throw your champion aside and go, hey, I have a better option than this. Thank you, Ensnare. I would have had to have added in more answers and considered a little bit more, but the game gave me 2 copies of Ensnare, so I don't have to worry about the mini-bosses. In a deck that draws 10 cards per turn and has 19 cards total, I'm basically guaranteed to hit an Ensnare on an enemy that I want to. I caught up anyway. We're done. We won. Good run. Good job. Pat myself on the back here. Didn't accidentally make my life a nightmare, endless abomination, living hell by trying to force a specific line. Good job, me. I did it. I'm gonna end up going to bed at a reasonable time. You know, reasonable-ish. It's gonna be like 5 when I fall asleep, which is good enough. We take those. I'd like to be asleep by like 4:30, but more realistically, it's 5. Maybe 5:30 on a bad day. Divinity made it to Relentless. It's crazy because on this run, I took damage. We took a big chunk on Arcus, but this run felt 10 times better than yesterday's run, and yesterday's run was flawless. Like, yesterday's run took no damage, but today's run felt significantly easier to play. Yeah, Shattered Shell, Awoken Hollow with Restore. I think that you can't play... So, here's your quick Shattered Shell rundown. You can't play Shattered Shell, Awoken Hollow in Exile Awoken. If you're Exile Awoken main, you play Shattered Shell with Wendleton, and you give the quick through Wendleton. You give Shattered Shell survivability through your shop upgrades. There's a lot here, but I'll give you the quick rundown on a few different Shattered Shell lines while we're at it. You play quick from Wendleton and then just 2 in Thornlord, and then Thornlord helps kill frontline and gives quick, and then you put survivability and multi-strike from your shop, and then probably self-infuse Shattered Shell in that line. Scale them with Root Seeds plus the self-infusion. This should be fine. In default Awoken, you can play him with Awoken Hollow. You can play him with Cultivating Sentient. You could probably play him with Rejuvenating Sentient, but I haven't had to yet. With Rejuvenating Sentient, you would need to pick up some sort of Razor Sharp Edge or other thing to get him started. Because Shattered Shell's big problem is that he needs to get started. You need to get him to, like, you gotta meet Shattered Shell halfway, right? You gotta bring the 3x3 to like 50x3, or the 3x2 to like 80x2, and then Shattered Shell does the rest for you. And you want to throw in a quick somewhere. Other lines, these are all Awoken specific lines. Other lines include throwing Rage at Shattered Shell, of course, Echo Transfer, things of that nature. Echo Transfer, Echo Infusion? I'm not sure. I think, like, sweeping lines, there's three specific infusions you take. You give him quick, and you give him quick if you're giving him survivability through Cultivates or something else. You give him self-infuse. Self-infuse is like the middle of the road. He gets survivability and bonus scaling. You can give him multi-strike, but multi-strike means you need to have defensive and offensive scaling. The multi-strike from Animus of Will, because you bring him down to 0x2, but then you can get an extra multi-strike in your infusion slot, but you got to make sure you have a way to scale him up. Cultivate again, usually, or you just give him raw health. You give him raw health, you give him multi-strike quick. You pick up some way to help scale him up. Any of the lines works. You take your pick. They all win. Shattered Shell's great. I just keep playing him because they keep showing him to me. And what am I gonna do? Lose the run? Nah. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.